can ask me all of the type of questions that you want in regards to the Commanders, the NFL, or just the whole entire sports world. You can email me now at juangottibusiness@gmail.com all of your questions. And once we get enough feedback, the first episode will be airing. Wait a minute, girl, can you slow down? Wait a minute, girl, what's the rush now? I wanna introduce myself to you. My name is one-on-one guy, to prefer nouns. I like the way you put your fists together. I like the way you do your hair in the morning. I see why all the boys want you, girl. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We got another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with another ownership news video, and this time it includes a legendary Washington coach. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. Tonight, I will be going live on the channel at 9 p.m. with Ed Oliver and Pedro Schmidt. We'll be talking about the Washington Commanders' upcoming draft and a lot of other stuff. So hopefully you can join me tonight. Now, there has been another turn and twist added to this ownership news. This time, it is still involving the profound or assumed owner, Josh Harris, and his group. This time, they're saying legendary head coach of the Washington organization, Joe Gibbs, is a part of their group. Now, obviously, we know the three leaders is Josh Harris, Magic Johnson, and Mitchell Robinson. Okay, they're saying about 11 to 14 other people are also involved, and but maybe to one of these 11 to 14 people is former Washington head coach Joe Gibbs. Now, when I saw that, I was surprised because I'm like, I know Joe Gibbs is big into the sports world and big into the NASCAR racing. He's like a public figure, a legendary NASCAR driver. Has a team, and I know he is not, not shabby when it comes to his pockets. He has money. He has money. Okay. But I am a little surprised that at this point of his life that he wants to be involved with the Washington Commanders. Maybe this is something that Joe Gibbs has been wanting to do, but he just wasn't the biggest fan of Dan Snyder. So this is something that's been delayed because he never probably thought he would be able to see the day that Dan Snyder isn't the owner of the Washington Commanders. So this is probably something, and I venture to believe that it's probably something that Joe Gibbs has been wanting to do. Probably just not under Dan Snyder, but that caught me a little bit off guard when I saw it. I was happy, I was definitely, happy, and it was surprising in a good way, not like a bad way, like no, I don't want Joe Gibbs. It was surprising in a different way. Like, wow, Joe Gibbs, 82-year-old Joe Gibbs, wants to be in part of the Washington Commanders now. That's interesting, But right now, it's just a rumor per JP Finley that Joe Gibbs is a part of the Mitchell Robinson, Josh Harris, and Matt Johnson group. But again, he heard it from a source, and that source heard it from a source, and that source heard it from a source. So it has to have some type of validity to it, or possibly could. I trust JP Finley. He's never stirred us in the wrong direction, or at least me. He's never stirred me in the wrong direction. Any information that I spew out from him is typically right, or it has some type of validation to it. So Joe Gibbs being a part of this group is definitely a good, positive thing for this organization. A lot of older fans out there are going to see and like, oh, man, Joe Gibbs is a part of this ownership group, man. That's Joe Gibbs, former Washington head coach, man, back in the day. 3 Super Bowl wins. I remember Joe Gibbs been on the sideline. He's the best coach this organization has ever had. I'm back in. This is another, I believe personally, this is another move to get the fan base back. And a lot of the older fans that checked out, this is probably a move that would somewhat bring you back in. Especially with Dan Snyder being gone. with the talent on this team, there's a new era in Washington. And what's a former guy that means so much to this organization, that has a lot of the old winning ways still in his blood? A guy like Joe Gibbs. You know, I personally feel like Joe Gibbs has had an interest in doing this. He just didn't want to do it under Dan Snyder. And then also with the Josh Harris group, they probably like, this is going to be a guy that could restore this fan base. This is a guy that was such a public figure during the winning times. We need to find a way to somewhat restore this fan base. And obviously, winning is going to do that. Nothing tops winning. Winning is the main way you can restore this fan base. But before we get to playing football, what is something that I could potentially do to restore some of this fan base, especially all of the older people that checked out? Oh, let me go get Joe Gibbs. Let me see if Joe Gibbs wants to be a part of this. Now, again, this is just me purely speculating on how it probably had went down. But this is what I imagine. Like, let me go ahead and get Joe Gibbs a call. Joe Gibbs join my team. And it gets out to the public and the fans hear about it. They get excited because they know what Joe Gibbs meant to this area, what Joe Gibbs did for this team. You know, he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's a Hall of Fame NASCAR, team or coach too. I don't know if it's coach in NASCAR, but, he has the winning ways, man. Anything Joe Gibbs puts his mind to and touches, he wins. So this is a really good move. Yes, Joe Gibbs is much older now, but I'm pretty sure he still knows how to put together a team, run a team, know what is the best position, as far as best positions to put people in so this organization can be successful. I know he still knows that. He's 82 years old, but it ain't going nowhere. He's still actively doing the NASCAR thing. And I don't know what his team is like as of now, but I know at a point in time they were winning cups and trophies in NASCAR. So again, anything he touches, he wins in. So adding him alongside Magic Johnson, who has a really good history as a player and as a front office executive. Obviously, you got the 76ers owner and now our owner, Josh Harris, and Mitchell Rouse. They know what to do. They have proven history of knowing how to run a sports organization. So what do? You pair yourself up around other people that has done the same thing as you. Yeah, Joe Gibbs was a coach. Don't really know too much about his playing history if he does have one. But he's a coach. And he's a coach that means so much. Alrighty, so in the middle of recording this video, more news came out about Joe Gibbs and his potential role with the new ownership group. So John Kahn just said he's not a part of the ownership group as an investor. He's close with Josh Harris and his group as far as some insight and, I guess a part of the council or, just close to the team in a sense. So that makes it more clear. So we don't have to guess anymore. But I'm not going to restart the whole video because we already was in the middle of recording it in the first place. But there you have it. That's what his potential role would be, is just providing some type of insight. And I mean, I didn't expect him to be like a main, bidder or main investor in the team. But I did thought his role would have been like more specific, and more involved of like the day-to-day operations. But I mean, he is an older guy, but he definitely wants to probably still be around this team and wants to put this team back in the direction that he once had it. So he's just gonna be like a guy that I guess gives insight of what they should do, how things should run. Nothing too serious like I thought at first, okay? But again, I'm not going to restart the whole video because it's no point in doing that. Things happen, live changes made, and we finally got our answer. So the first half of the video is me, making a prediction of where his role can be, and then later in the video, as you are going to see, we find out, per John Kahn, what Joe Gibbs is actually going to be. So again, Joe Gibbs is going to be like a guy that gives them some type of insight as far as the new ownership group goes. So that's still an exciting thing because he's still a part of this team. He definitely has a role, something that he didn't have under Dan Snyder. So that definitely is still something that could bring older fans back involved into this fan base. And again, like I said, that's what I initially thought that they would have done, and they bring him in to do, is to really attract the older fan base that pretty much checked out of this team years and years ago. And I think doing something like this is going to bring fans back. But there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We want to roll to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. And don't forget, tonight I will be going live on the channel with my man Ed Oliver and Pedro Schmidt at 9 p.m. So I hope to see you guys over there. Thank you so much. See you guys later. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you drop.